Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a short one, but I wanted to pass on the best tip I've learned from cooking, bearing in mind that I am not a great cook, but I'm getting there when it comes to preparing food and helping you on your fitness journeys. Now, you may be aware that to create and lose fat, which is weight, you need to create a calorie deficit. Now, a calorie deficit can be simply defined as burning more calories than we take in. Now, without getting into the whys and wherefores that the different schools of thought will get into and how that works, fundamentally energy balance is based up of calories in versus calories out. So let's bear that in mind. We can get into the terms of macronutrients, micronutrients and all that sort of good stuff, but that is not the purpose of today. If you are wanting to go on a bit of a fitness journey and lose some weight or get into better shape, it's all around making small incremental changes that benefit you and your life. So, bearing in mind that I am a bit of a stickler for the instructions when it comes to working in the kitchen, I wanted to find different ways of improving my food. When it comes to calories, you can work out what the number of optimum calories are that you need to maintain, which is under your base metabolic rate, i.e. the number of daily calories that you will burn on an average daily rate. Google the calculators. I'm not going to go into it now because there are different schools of thought, but put it this way. It might spit out that if you're a male, you could be around 2,500. If you're a female, it might be 1,800. I don't know, and I'm not going to get into that conversation now. What I do want to tell you is that when you start looking at where unnecessarily calories can be counted, think those calorie dense foods, not nutrients dense foods. An example of that is calorie dense would be Haribo. Who doesn't love Haribo though? And nutrient dense would be things like courgettes, where there's great nutrients in there and they don't have very many calories. So if you are getting hungry, you could in theory just chew on a courgette. Not sure I fancy that. So if you are conscious around your calorie intake, how can you improve that? Well, if you make your food from scratch, it means that you have control around putting all of the food into your body. Remember, no Jaffa cake ever ate itself, so you are responsible for you. When you put your pan on the hob, what's the first thing that you put in it? Chances are it's going to be olive oil. Now, in much the same way I've just done my Blue Peter moment, here's one I prepared earlier. Olive oil, product of Spain, sold by Sainsbury's, other supermarkets are available. What are the calories in here? Now, I can tell you that per 100 ml, there's 823. Now, just consider that for a moment. If we take the female daily calorie allowance, that's probably half in 100 mils. Now, 100 mils actually is not that much. To give you a bit of context, I have a measuring jug. So 100 mils, that's here. That's about 1.5 centimeters off the bottom of the jug. So if you have started cooking and you pour it into your pan, the chances are you could easily put in 100 mils without really thinking about it. Maybe 100 is a bit high, 50 at least. So that's 400 calories that you've just added and you've not even put any food in yet. Think about that for a moment. That is nuts. So if you are trying to monitor your calories or actually just improve your choices and reduce the amount of calories that you have on a daily basis, that's not a good way to start. So what can you do? What's the alternative? Well, one, you could just cut it out. Well, actually, that's not very nice because often it helps bring out the flavors and it helps you in your cooking endeavors. So I would say that's not really an option. Number two, use an alternative. Now, you could use something like coconut oil. Coconut oil has essential fats, but is still very, very calorific. Number three, which is what I want to talk to you about today, is something called Spray Light. Specifically, this one. Ta-da! Spray Light is effectively olive oil, but in a spray. Revolutionary, hey? The marketing department were working overtime when they came up with this bad boy. The difference with this is it is 1 calorie per spray. So rather than pouring in or measuring it out, you could do a couple of sprays or even 6 sprays, and there's only 6 calories worth of olive oil in that, but it gives you enough to base your pan. All of a sudden, you have just taken out the best part of maybe 2, 3, 4, 500 plus calories, and you've still got the output that you need in terms of basing out the pan and starting your cooking for that meal. That to me seems like a really, really good choice. And to be quite honest, will you notice the difference? Maybe, maybe not. But isn't it worth trying? Half the battle about creating a healthy, nutritious lifestyle is just making those small incremental changes and choices. And I think This is one of them. Obviously you can buy Sainsbury's own and Asda's own and Tesco's own and whichever supermarket you want to go to. But the point is, creating a spray rather than a pour means that you are more specific and you are limiting the amount of unnecessary calories that you're having in your meals. Now, I'm not going to get into the whys and wherefores around does it taste better and is it good for you and all that sort of stuff, because that's something for you to decide. But if you use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil or whatever it might be, I would highly encourage you to look at the spray light option. Why not? Just means that you could use those 200, 300 plus calories for something else. Perhaps even that Jaffa cake. Although in fairness, one Jaffa cake is never enough and you end up eating the whole tin, but that is a totally different question. And that's it. That's a small incremental change that you can make that I genuinely believe will help you on your fitness journey and just makes sense. So, with that, my name is Brendan. If you like what you've heard, please do push the like button. Also click subscribe, make sure that the bell wobbles. That just means that you'll get the content the moment it is released. So with that, I am going to cook my lunch and I will use the sprays obviously because that's what I've just told you I'm going to do. So with that, take care and I will see you all very soon. Cheers.